Welcome to a video tutorial on PVSOL Premium 2016. And we're going to look here about using the map import feature and extrusion of 3D objects. And we use this in association with Google Earth Pro, which means you would start that up separately on your computer. Notice there are two versions of Google Earth. It's important to get the Pro version to get the right ruler measurements that you want to use. So you get yourself in the right location on Google Earth, type in the address and postcode, and once you're there you can move yourself around and get the building you're interested in using your mouse or the buttons that Google give you, and you want to get it fairly well in the middle. Notice some buildings Google have done extensive measurements on and appear in 3D rather than just simply 2D images, and that's what we've got in this image here, a building that already has been shown in 3D in Google. So we can use the ruler feature now and the 3D path in particular to now measure the height of this building as taken from Google Earth. So you use your mouse in a normal way to left click as say starting at the bottom of the building and then vertically up to the top edge, and that'll give us a height that we'll use shortly in PVSOL. So you can make your own record of that temporarily whilst you acquire some other dimensions, possibly pasting it into a separate spreadsheet whilst you acquire another dimension, typically a horizontal dimension on the roof, some measurement that's going to be used to help scale the drawing shortly in PVSOL. There are superstructures on this particular roof, and they too may well be worth measuring, particularly the height. So here we're measuring two separate superstructures, one on top of each other, and again these are separately recorded for use in a few moments. Before we take a snapshot, we make sure the image is facing north. You click on the little N symbol top right of the screen, and this sets the image northwards, and then you screenshot that image from Google Earth in a normal way, usually Control Print Screen on your keyboard, and capture it and save it as one of the formats that you can bring into PVSOL, typically say a bitmap or a JPEG. So back into PVSOL Premium, you start your project off and make sure you've got the right climate location, and also that you'll be doing it in 3D. You also will set up your other adjustments later if necessary in the program. Main thing is to get into 3D, and the opening dialog where it says New 3D System, make sure the drop down you choose is Map section, and then to use the image you've just captured you need to load from hard drive and navigate to wherever you saved that screenshot. Opening that, once we got that set up, we need to click the gear wheel in order to set the scale. On this image you can just see top left there's a blue line, and we need to sort of click and drag that down to where we measured horizontally on the building. And once we've got that lined up, we can type in the dimension that we previously recorded for that edge. That will set the scale for the rest of the work that we're going to do with this image. So we can click Start to bring that image into Object View within the PVSOL 3D, and we can move that about as required, and now we're going to use that effectively a floor plan which is in 2D at the moment. We're going to draw a polygon. You select the polygon tool, it shows a pencil shape, and you start clicking as accurately as you can on all the relevant edges. It's going to take some time to do that well, so the video is going to move quickly through the rest of the points, but the more time you can spend getting those points right, it will serve you better in a moment as we actually create a 3D building from what was just a 2D image. So once we've got our sort of outline, which is to say in solid blue, once we finish the image, we can right click and extrude the object, and if things go well, PVSOL will recognize it as a building, it's called an arbitrary building, and it will carry on the floor plan onto the roof from the photograph. And you can then type in a height of the building. You can edit that later as well if necessary. And now within PVSOL we've got that 3D building. That was a reasonably complex building, which was would have been quite difficult to build up from bits and pieces, but it's a lot easier when you extrude it in this way. We've got other objects on this roof, so we take this object we've created, we right click and we add to coverable objects, right click again and activate it. This now allows us to place other objects on this roof, and because we've captured that in the sort of image we got from Google Pro, we can also create another 3D polygon and trace the outline of that. Once that's completed, right click and extrude, tell the PVSOL what kind of object you want to extrude. In this case it's like another building, and carry on doing that as required to complete these objects which in effect are restricted areas, but also will cast a shadow on the rest of the roof. So we can now move towards putting some modules on frames on the area of the roof we're interested in. We set up a frame system using the edit system dialog. We can explain how many modules we want and various sort of distances and gaps. We can change the angle, the pitch angle and the azimuth, the horizontal angle, and because the roof itself may well not be itself horizontal or facing south, we can use a calculation box which allows us to put our final desired orientation, and the PVSOL will calculate the relative angles. So once we've got that tuned up with the module we want and the orientation, we click OK, and we can now proceed under module mounting to cover this roof, and this is done by clicking the OK button, and if we're happy with the spacing and the angles, we can see the implications of the shading not only from the other objects on the roof but the inter-row shading as well, and we can see here now that is presented to you numerically on the modules and with a color scheme. So thank you for watching. If you need more assistance, there is an online forum both in English and German where you can post your questions.